Hey there, Andrew from Axe again. We use the Novus ProCare range quite extensively in our high fleet, so I thought maybe this is a good opportunity to talk through the mattresses, and if you do ever have any issue, then this is going to be a good resource to come back to and find out what you can do to get it right. So how does a ProCare work? Well, under the cover we can actually see all the bladders under here, and we'll access that. There's a zip that starts at the bottom of the bed here in the middle. We can unzip that and we can access the bladders from underneath the cover. Now, as you look at these mattresses, you feel that one is slightly down, next one is firm. One is slightly down, one is firm. That's the alternating pressure that provides that fantastic pressure care. This blue box that sits at the end of the bed is the pump, but it's also the control panel for everything that you need to do to control the mattress. One thing to really be aware of, this pad here, if there's ever an error message, it'll show up in here what the message is, and it will give a clue as to what the fix is. If it comes up with LP, which is probably going to be the most common error code to come up, LP meaning low pressure. So low pressure can be caused by, well, if you've got a cat and it's clawed the mattress, that'll do it. Or alongside the mattress, on the left side of the mattress as you look to the head of the bed, are a whole series of connectors. Now, those connectors, if someone sits on the side of the bed or they stand on the side of the bed and they hit it in the wrong spot, they can actually pop those connectors open and then the air leaks through. So, really simple fix, you just click the connector back into place and the job's done. The low pressure code coming up can be a fairly good indicator that one of these connectors has come adrift. So these connectors, obviously letting out a lot of air, and that will trigger an alarm. So if you look down the side here and you see these missing or not connected, just grab the two ends, push them together until you hear a click, and that will resolve your problem. The ProCare mattresses are fantastic. We rarely have an issue with them, but if we do, then it's good to have some idea of what to do with to fix your problem. So we've talked about these connectors, how they can come undone. Looking for a code on the blue box to give you an idea if it's LP, means the low pressure. If the alarm goes off on the box, we can actually hold down the mute button. Now, when you hold down the mute button, that will actually kill the alarm for about 30 minutes, but then it will come back on again. Now, the reason for that is it's just going to let you know that the problem hasn't been fixed. So it's a temporary fix, but it will come back on again. So look for the code on the box, and that'll give an indication of what the problem is. LP is going to be by far the most common, and usually it's going to be because one of these connectors has come adrift. At the top end of the bed is a CPR valve. The new CPR valves are fantastic, and they're really difficult for anything to go wrong with them. The older style CPRs were 4 plugs that just went into the mattress. They could come adrift, so it was possible that if they moved, you would get a low pressure alarm as well. We don't have too many of those in circulation anymore, so that's probably not going to be a problem. One thing that we hear from people with some of the remotes have got this swipe key on there. Now, at the moment, it's showing the power is on, but it's not unlocked, so there's no feature, no function happening with this at the moment. You need to swipe this pad here, so it's a bit like one of those hotel keys where you swipe the pad. When you swipe it, you will see that light come on. If it doesn't come on, then you've just got to swipe it again. Light didn't come on, now it's come on. So that's now showing that the bed is actually working and I can control the bed. All of the features on here will work with that first swipe, so it's gone green. There's a Trendelenburg function which tilts the bed up and down. To get that to activate, you actually need to swipe it again and the light will go orange. You swipe it again and now you see the lights changed. And then if you want to deactivate it, swipe it again, no light on there, and so now that remote is inactive. The technology in the ProCare is fantastic. They've got this auto function where they will actually detect the weight of the person lying on the bed and they will adjust the pressure accordingly. Now, everyone's got different preferences though, and even though it's maybe adjusted for someone, they might feel that they want the mattress either firm or softer. So there are settings on here that you can actually adjust. You can move that up or down, but you need to turn the auto function off first. So hold down that auto function, you'll hear a beep, the auto goes off, and now we can adjust that. You cannot move that if the auto function's on, because that's going to detect the weight of the person on the mattress and make that pressure call. Couple of features on here, you've got alternating and static. So the alternating is how it is set by default. If you put it to static, the person's not going to get that premium level of pressure care. So really important that alternating is used. You can switch between alternating and static. If you put the mattress on static, it will automatically revert back to the alternating, because that is what's going to give you your premium level of care. If you've got young children in the house and they like pushing buttons, this button here is pretty important. This is the lock button. So this will disable everything on here. So to activate the lock, you hold down the lock button. It says 3 seconds. It'll beep, and you can see green light has come on and it's showing that that is now locked. So again, I can't do anything. It's going to beep, but it's not going to do anything. To enable the keypad again, I need to deactivate the lock. Again, hold that down, wait for the beep. There it goes. I can now access the other buttons. The Fowler function is a really important feature on the bed. With the air mattress, as it goes into a sitting position, then the bladders that are underneath the person's bottom, as they sort of inflate and deflate, there's a risk of someone sort of getting close to the frame of the bed and bottoming out, and if they've got any sort of risk of pressure injuries, we really want to avoid that. So the Fowler function, what that does, if you put someone into a sitting position, press the Fowler function button, that will actually keep those bladders under the middle part of the bed where they're sitting, fully inflated, even while the rest of the bed is alternating. So it gives that level of care. These mattresses have a really, I think, a really cool feature with them as well. As a backup, even if you've got the Fowler function on, inside all of these bladders is a secondary bladder. Now that bladder stays inflated the whole time. One thing we get calls about a bit is this service light. Now if the service light comes on, it's a bit like a reminder when your car, when it comes up with a service light, there's nothing urgent that needs to be done with it. It's still going to work perfectly well. The service light is really a reminder for us when the pumps are here in the warehouse. Warehouse guys are sort of doing service and maintenance on it. It gives them an alert that it's time for them to do a service on the pump. So if it comes on, it's not an issue at all in terms of the care that you can get from the pump. If you find yourself in a blackout, obviously the pump's going to stop working and it's going to trigger an alarm to go off. I guess the most important thing is the air within these bladders is going to stay in here for up to 20 hours. So it'll go down slightly, but it's still going to provide pretty good care for people who are lying on the bed, and they're not going to bottom out on the mattress. These mattresses have a really specific purpose, and so with the cover on, if you start putting blankets and sheepskins and the like on top of this before someone lies on top of it, you're going to remove a lot of that benefit that people are getting with the Pressure Care mattress. All I can say with that is probably speak to your carer or your nurse or your clinician who you're dealing with and get their thoughts on it. Just be mindful you are going to lose that Pressure Care benefit as soon as you start putting things on top of the mattress. Thanks for watching. I hope you found some useful information in this video to help you continue to provide uninterrupted care for your loved ones. If you have any thoughts or questions, please leave a comment below or call us at NACS 1800 684 277.